We're here at 20 past 6 in the morning on a lovely morning on a Natural England bog restoration project on Glasson moss. So this is a moth survey we're doing with remote equipment pretty much out in the middle of nowhere to monitor the populations of moths, both the rare habitat specific ones that depend on the sphagnum bog, but also the common ones as a long-term project to see whether there's any effect from climate change, global warming, agricultural chemicals, etc. So we've got 2 moth traps you can probably see in the distance, which are in open habitat, and then there are another 2 in that wood there as well. So hopefully we'll find some moths in a minute. So most people use egg boxes for this because it's a nice sort of environment for the moths to sit in before you come and look at them. Problem with egg boxes is they get down the crevices. It's very difficult to get a nice sort of co-planar photograph, and the background looks a bit odd. Okay. Now these ones are all called ear moths because the marking on the wings looks a bit like an ear, and they were originally thought to be in 4 different species. But now, after a lot of more scientific study, they're probably in the process of evolution, and they're probably one superspecies that hybridizes, and it's not clear as yet whether they're in the process of evolving into different species, or they might actually be going the other way. They may have been different species genuinely, say, a couple of 100 years ago, and through evolution, natural selection, they're evolving into actually aggregating into one robust superspecies. That's a shield bug, forest bug, true bug. So rather than the egg boxes, I tend to put bark and twigs in the moth trap because it's easier for photographic recording. This is a nice one. That's a gold spot, and again there are 2 species that may or may not be separate species. They've been split into regular gold spot and Lemke's gold spot, owing to slightly different markings on the wings. Okay, traps 3 and 4 here have just carried in from the edge of the bog, ancient birch woodland and ancient oak woodland, so hopefully get 1 or 2 species that we haven't had on the open bog in these. For the next treat, we've got a field microscope, Celestron digital microscope, that clips into my Apple Mac Pro laptop and will show us the really small stuff, the micro stuff. You can run this off the laptop battery, so it's a way of doing micro photography recording in the field. This is a triple SI, and returning everything back to site without having to take it off site or pin it out or dissect it or anything like that. So I've got a black Sexton beetle with some interesting little symbiotic mites on it, which was in one of the moth traps.